I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Niji Sabharwal. He is the CEO of Agentsync, and he's joined by Jenn, CTO at Agentsync. It is wonderful to have you both here today. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Great. Okay, now before we get started, quick note to viewers, this interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, so Jenn, let's start with you. The insurance space can be confusing with agents, carriers, and distributors. Where does Agentsync fit in, and what problem are you solving?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I knew nothing about insurance when we started the company and had to learn all of those terms, but we all know our insurance agent. And when we think about our agent, they're giving a policy for us or helping us figure out how to protect what we value most in our life. Well, behind the scenes for them to sell, they have to go through quite a bit of paperwork to make sure they're meeting their licensure obligations and then working with the right contracts with carriers. That process can take up to 40 days for some carriers for them to get someone ready to sell. And we actually focused on that problem of making efficient onboarding, streamlined, modern experiences for agents in the space so they can better serve you and I, and also get to selling faster, which is ultimately their job.
Now, Niji, consumers may think of insurance agents as a thing of the past. How are you supporting this role as it evolves?
Yeah, so it's a pretty common misconception that insurance agents are going to go the way of travel agents.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the vast majority of insurance sold is actually sold through independent agent channels across every line of business. And insurance products can be quite complicated and very personal. Really, at the end of the day, it's you buy insurance to protect what matters most in your life. Whether you're an individual buying home insurance or you're a business insuring your business, you're going to want to talk to a live advisor to help you think through a very important decision.
Now, Jenn, why do you think the insurance industry has been slow to adopt technology?
Yeah, I actually think it's a bit of a misconception. Insurance, it's been around a long time. Some of these companies are decades old and they have a lot of tech. It's really complicated tech over time, right? Technology has evolved, so now we think about things in the cloud and SaaS and APIs. We have partners who have mainframes and they've been maintaining that technology over time. So part of it is they're really judicious about not breaking what's there. It's a very complex state with a lot of complex data. And when we think about coming into this space, we think about how do we help them work with the technology they have and start to evolve it. You can't just go in and gut it. So externally there's this perception of slow movement, but there's also a lot to contend with in this space as you think about thoughtfully replacing pieces of your technology while not breaking your business. Really challenging thing to do, and a lot of fun for us to work with carriers to help them start to take those steps, especially around onboarding agents.
All right, now Niji, we know the economy has been slowing down and we've seen layoffs in the tech sector. Tell me, how are you approaching the slowdown?
Yeah, so we've been very capital efficient from day one. We were bootstrapped for the first year and a half or so we have that ingrained into our planning processes where we really think a couple years out and have a very good understanding of our burn rate. And that being said, markets have tightened up a lot over the last 12 months. So we're continuing to monitor the situation and retooling our planning process to make sure that we keep our finger on the pulse of how we're burning cash versus growing and what that trade-off looks like. And lastly, our business focus, really, the insurance industry that we're selling into is very robust by nature. It's kind of meant to do really well during good times, really well during bad times. So it's a very fortunate place for us to be focused on right now.
All right, well, wonderful to talk with you both. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk and on the trading floor today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.